back to Two Nigerian Women. Welcome, welcome. We have a lovely guest in the studio, but before we get to that, we'll introduce ourselves. My name is Ibukun.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abidemi, and welcome to today's episode.
Yeah, and we have, well, he wants to introduce himself. Go ahead. Please introduce yourself.
And I am Sumi. Nice to be here again with these lovely ladies.
Thank you for honoring our invitation. We thought, let's bring this man back. He's the one always asking questions. So this time, let's ask him questions. And we
Oh
thought,
wow.
let's just do wait. Let's do a general what do men want? This is
Okay.
our opportunity to ask the questions. We as women have always wondered, what do men want? So it might go down a rabbit hole, it might not. Stay tuned and find out where this goes. So we're going to ask questions. It's not rapid fire. Take your time, oh, because you're representing men. God
Okay.
help you. All right. Now, I would ask a question, and it comes from the perspective of a wife.
Yeah.
Do men get married to have someone to care for them, or just to have someone as a companion? Like, you just want someone there. So, is it to fulfill loneliness, or you actually want somebody to care for you?
Wow. Okay. Um. You're going deep. So let me start with the perspective of why I got married.
Okay.
We're Nigerian, so as soon as my university was over, despite my parents saying don't date, don't date, don't date anybody, as soon as the university was over, the question was, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? When are you getting married? And at some point, my brother and I were like, look, if it is children, if it's grandchildren you want, we don't have to be married to give that to you. My mother said, God forbid. But anyway, time went on. And yes, there was that pressure from my mom of, should I say pressure? My mom would just randomly always ask, is there nobody? But it wasn't like she was calling me every day. But there came a time when I felt, okay, I want to get married
Okay.
and I want to date to get married. And why did I want to get married? It just seemed like the natural progression of things. You know, finished university, started career. You're just brought up to feel as if, okay, the next step is get married, have children, and but did I think it was for companionship or anything like that? No, I just thought, okay, this is what everybody does. This is the next thing, you know. And I will say that I did fall into that cliche of when they say a man marries a woman thinking she will never change, while the woman marries a man hoping to change him. I was like, yeah, just I find the woman, she seems perfect for me right now. She's never gonna change. I'm never gonna change. Hey, let's just let's just go together. That was my naive view of getting married. Just I enjoy talking to you. We seem to get along. The romance is nice. So there's the spiritual aspect. Both of us believe in God. You know, my personal preference, she was from my tribe because I didn't want intertribal issues. So it all seemed to work fine. So that is my idea. That was my reason for getting married.
Okay.
But yeah.
But if you pull the thread, especially
Mhm.
now you've been married for
Yeah.
a number of years, and you have male friends as well,
Yeah.
and you've, I'm sure, spoken at length about everything in life. Why
Mm-hmm.
do you think men get married as a whole?
Um, Loads of reasons. Let's
What's
be
the most
honest.
common one?
Let's be honest. Most common one is legitimate sex.
Mm,
So that because the whole time before you're married, when you fall down while you're trying to stay strong. There's all that guilt that you just don't like. But after they say I do, you can now do whatever you want in the
To do.
comfort of your own home, and nobody can say anything. And it gives so much. It's so freeing, you know. Um, yes, there's peace. Yeah, then
Mhm.
there's people that want children to pass on. You know, yeah. People. I mean, I wanted children just to be like, oh, people I can teach and mold and pass on my, and people want that as well. Ah, companionship. Some people do want companionship, but it's kind of difficult because you already have male friends that
Mhm.
that you have companionship with. So it's only when they're all getting married and when you try and get them all together, I'm like, sorry, man, I'm hanging out with my wife, or this person can't come. I begin to go. I think me too. I need somebody that I can I can go home to that will always be there for me. So yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Sissy, any
Mm-hmm.
comments, or do you want to build on that question before I ask another one?
No, I don't have any. I just have a bone to pick when you talk about the intertribal thing. I think you just need to be very careful because you are raising your kids in a very more. I know it's what has
Mm.
been what you wanted in the
Yeah.
past, but you have to
Mm.
be very mindful of not having those. Because I find it a bit. I maybe it's just me, but I find it a bit stereotypical because you're raising your kids in a
Yeah.
multicultural society. You cannot
Yes.
afford to be, as far as I'm concerned, that's like
No, no,
this.
no. But that was for me. If my kids want to marry
No, but
whomever,
I think you should
they're
just put it
fine.
as a caveat. According
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me, it
No,
was
no, no.
this and
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
And
Because
he did. And he did.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
yes,
for me, I just
Mm.
okay. Because one of the when you said you were gonna ask what do men want, I was gonna tell you peace because that's what I like.
That's what you should have
I
said. Okay,
it's
I
so what
like
peace
men
I
now.
want
like
is peace.
peace.
Eh-heh.
Yeah. So I don't like wahala. Yeah. And for me, anything that adds more wahala to issues is
Mm,
just me. And I already know when you get two people together, two families, because as we know, for Nigeria, we're not Westerners who think it's just the two people getting married. Everybody else
mm,
can go to the blazes. We're not like that. It's the two families that that come together, and there's that interfamily dynamics that you have to worry about.
Mhm.
Now, when it's just Yoruba, there's still wahala even though
Mhm.
you're all speaking the same language and you seem to think that you have the same values and the same traditions.
yeah.
Now then you add if you go and add mm,
You
a
don't need to
different
mention
tribe,
anyone else, but
yeah, exactly. Then that wala gets a little bit more. And I was just like, hmm, I'm too I want too much peace in my life. If if I had found someone that I loved that was from I would have done that.
Okay.
But it was just
preference.
my
Okay.
preference. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's right. You need to
Mm,
be very intentional. And I think we
yeah.
always have conversations to say you need to be very intentional about what you do. And if
Yeah.
you're entering marriage for the long term, if
Mm,
there are certain things you cannot cope with, don't force yourself into thinking you can. You just go and
yes.
collect
Mm,
breakfast that you don't need to, in my opinion.
yep.
Mm,
But yeah, okay. Thank you
Hmm.
for the honest answer.
Thank you.
Um, my second question is: do most men hate it when the woman in their life is right?
Oof.
It's a yes or no.
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Oh dear.
Sometimes.
Most men. Eh?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. See, look. It depends on. Okay. Men have egos,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um. Uh, Let me confess something.
Go on.
I will be thinking of, oh, it's going to Saturday. It's going to be sunny. I should do the garden. I'm thinking of in my head. I should do the
Mm-hmm.
garden. Thursday, my wife will look into the garden and go, somebody you should do the garden this weekend. And immediately, I will not want to do the garden.
Wahala.
That's just me. My ego is just like, why must you tell me what to do? I know what to do. Okay. Why are you coming? Why are you coming to put mouth into my matter? So I've been trying to deal with myself on that thing. Now, after 15 years, I have just become that 95% of the time, my wife is right. It's not always easy to accept. Um, the days I can convince her that I am right are
Mhm.
wonderful days that I write in my diary as I have won one round. So it's, yeah, no. Men don't like acknowledging that their wife is right, even though most of the time they are. Um, and you're right, because the things you're right about, we don't really care about it. We're not, it's like my wife is saying, you can't say that or you can't do that. I'm like, why? But because she has thought several layers deep
Mhm.
about the interactions and all that kind of
Mm,
stuff.
mm.
Uh, Whereas me, I'm just like happy go lucky. Let's just go and do and see and whatever. And she'd be like, my guy, pump the pump the brakes. You can't. So yeah, but yeah, we don't like acknowledging, especially in things like personal stuff. If you like, oh, uh, have you,
Or
are you
had
wearing
a shower.
are you wearing a jacket? It's cold. I'm like, come. Before I married you, I used to go out and come in. What are you? Why are you? Why are you treating me like?
But why is that? So you mentioned ego, but
Mm.
I think it's much more of a visceral reaction than ego, because with ego you have to. I don't know. I don't think everyone wears ego on their, on their face or on their chest, or their sleeve.
we
What
we
is it?
don't know.
Why?
Even us don't know. We don't know why this thing just comes out like this. Like, because it's like she cares about you. She loves you. She's not doing anything horrible. Well, you're just like, let me be the person that determines my fate and my my destiny.
This causes a lot of fight because she's not
Yeah.
even saying it to control you.
Mm,
At that point, it's a suggestion. But
mm,
because you have decided that she has
mm.
become a winch in your house, it then turns into you
Well,
must do
yeah.
what I've asked you to do.
Well, that then you have to be careful how you reply. So I usually reply semi jokingly so that it does not become a fight, you know. And my wife always said, look, your life would be better if we just acknowledge that I'm right and do what I say.
Hmm.
And but yeah, sometimes I push against that. That okay, why are you God? Why must you always be right? But yeah, it's yeah, when you first get married, it's almost like what's going on, you know things like you can't just be going around bare feet. Why can't I go around bare feet? My feet are fine. Like,
I think that's a personal thing, personal
you know,
preference for your wife.
yeah.
It's not.
Mm.
It's not
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
control. It's
No,
just
no, no.
things. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like this. I
yeah,
don't like.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But then the question is, because when you met each other,
Mm,
is the same things that cause issues. This is my theory.
mm,
The same things that cause issues in your long term relationship that you actually liked about the person when you met them. So, a
mm,
lot of men would say, and this is why we're asking the question, what exactly do men want? I want a
mm,
woman who can think for herself, who is able to be independent, and not a lot of men, or not every man,
Mm.
who
mm.
is able to think for herself and is not waiting on me to do the next thing. You want an independent woman. You then
Yeah.
get said independent woman. And now you're like, what is your problem? Why are you now trying to control me? So,
Yeah.
what exactly do men want? If you want a strong woman, in terms of a woman who knows her mind,
Mm,
and you wife her, and
yeah.
yet you now push against her, if you will, directness, or even ability to think for herself. Why do
Mm.
you do that? Why do men do that? Not you as a person, but why do men do that?
Lack of maturity.
I,
To be blunt.
You have taken it to
And
another place, uncle.
no, but because the honest truth is, what should we expect? That the woman should shrink herself so that you feel big? That's a lack of maturity.
mm,
Yeah.
I
Because
see
that's what the man is asking is
authority.
shut up and let me lead. But you're not leading in the right direction, and she cannot give you advice.
Mm,
No leader works without advice.
mm,
So you need to grow in maturity that okay, she loves you, she loves both of you, she loves your family, she wants what's best. She doesn't want to ride you. Okay. So when you hear that, then okay, calm down. Then you start listening and you start, you know, I'm not I would like to sit here and say, oh, maybe the woman should present it this way or should present that way. But the fact of the matter is, okay. So there was a time when my wife would be like, somebody you didn't use deodorant today, blah blah blah, blah. And I'll get upset. And she'll know that I'm upset. Then she started changing it to were you sweating a lot today, or kind of trying to, and I got even more upset. I'm like, please just say that I'm smelling and let's move on, because the way that you are trying to go around the houses to try and, and help me figure out that,
This lady.
you know so so sometimes, so it's not about the delivery. Some people say, she just says it. It's not about the delivery. It's about the man and his maturity and his ego,
But
and he
how
has
can
to.
you help? How can you help that? Okay, so let me actually, this is an interesting one. At what point does a man get mature? Like, how do you now know a man is mature? Because I'm asking for women out there that have not yet married and can't help the person they've married,
Ah,
so to speak.
mm,
But
ah,
for those who are looking for a mature man, how would you say you know when a man is mature?
I didn't mature until I got married,
Interesting.
are you
Ah,
sure?
see,
and I don't think I would have matured
wait,
until I got married.
wait. We need to clap that moment. Bidemi, let us clap. We're the ones who are children. See,
Yes, so
we are
yes,
speak your truth,
yeah.
speak your
Because
truth.
I don't think I would have matured until I got married, because
Wow.
marriage just puts you in this crucible, and you either mature or you break. You know, because what do you mean? How do you know that a man is mature? When you're living by yourself and you come in, you throw your clothes this way, you eat your dirty dish can be in the sink for 5 days. You know, you spend your money how you like. You don't think about saving for anything. You know, obviously there are some men that are a little more mature than that. They have already gotten everything planned out. They are saving. That they are investing. But
Mm.
how many of them are like that? If you only marry those ones, there'll be nobody to marry. Yeah, there'll be so many men unmarried. You know, but when you
But
get
what?
married and you
Yeah.
now have, okay, you got okay, so we have to pay rent together. We have to arrange, you have to go grocery shopping.
Ah,
Then I have to, we have household chores that we have to manage together, and you start rubbing each other, and you rub the edges smooth on each other. So yes, marriage helps a lot of men mature. And I might say it's not too fair on the women, because society kind of like almost pushes them that you've got to be married for marriage. You have to be able to do this, you have to be able to, and they're already thinking that when I get married, all the things that, whereas men are almost happy go lucky up
I
until,
think men take a long time to catch up. I think that's what it
yeah.
is. But
Oh
I
yeah,
think
definitely.
also society has molded us women
Yeah.
to be providers. Like it's almost ingrained in us to bringing us up to be good wives, good mothers.
Mm,
What's that word? Good
your
wives, good
takes.
mothers, caretakers. Yes, the child
mm,
in the family, little one. They are almost taught to care for that
y-
child and
yeah. Mm-hmm.
babysit without even saying
Yeah.
it's babysit. Look after these ones, and
Mm-hmm.
so I think we already have that maturity that has been ingrained. Whether you like it or not, it's trust upon you. So when you get
Yeah.
married, you already have a sense of responsibility that comes with, okay, this is my home. I'm going to make of it what I can. I'm in charge of
Mm.
this. I need to do this. And the men just play catch up because a lot
Yeah.
of them have been enabled. I don't know about, I'm talking about Nigerian men generally, how they've been brought
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
majority are enabled to show up when the food is ready. They're not, you're the man of the
Mm.
house, and they keep it. It's something that's been told to them constantly that men of the house, so they're not supposed to do this, they're
Yeah.
not supposed to do that. Waited on hand and foot, and for the
Mm-hmm.
women, they're taught to serve always. You go to your in-laws house, you're the one that's serving running around. You go
Yeah.
to your granny's house, you're the one that's serving running around, doing cooking, doing this, doing this. You even if you're dating someone, you're going to the family house, you're clearing up, you're doing this. So it's something that's already.
But do you think that the men can teach you ladies how to relax?
Wait. We're
Because
not asking the questions here. We're not asking the questions here. The answer is yes, but we're not asking the questions here. Let us focus on our focus. Eh? We are the ones asking the questions.
okay.
Let me put it to you this way: God has a sense of humor. I think,
Mm,
as a Christian, will say marriage is ordained by God, and that is
yeah.
because we should both enter marriage in the betterment of the other person, not
Yeah.
for bettermental, but
Mm,
the reason we're together is because we would make each other better
better. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
overall. To to the point being made right now, the question, like genuinely, women with curious minds want to know is pretty much hopefully help us not fall into pitfalls in
Mm,
our pre-marriage and then marriage relationships, but also for us to fully understand how we navigate all the nuances of
mm,
marriage. So, for example, a woman is supposed to help a
yeah.
man, but
Yeah.
when the man doesn't even have something to help,
or doesn't
Mm,
want to help.
exactly, or doesn't even want your help, there is
mm,
a problem. So what
yeah.
am I here for? Am I decoration or what? So
Mm,
let us say the man has something to, like a mission,
yeah.
and the woman can help him, and the man refuses the help. Why
Mm,
is that the case? I know you've mentioned ego in a previous
mm,
answer, but I
yeah.
think there's something like I want to really understand if the woman is there and what she's saying makes sense. So, but
Mm,
the ego in that moment rises up and it's like, why are you telling me what to do?
mm,
But
mm-hmm.
even despite you knowing it is right, you still don't do it. Why?
Mm.
Why
Um,
does that happen?
ego is a weird thing. We what's that phrase? Cut off your nose to spite your face. You know, um, that's what men can do sometimes. It's like, and it's a function of an immature man, really. Um, and to help the man, you've got to pray. As Christians, that's the first thing. You just pray. You just pray.
Moko.
Pray that God will just. Will talk. I think sometimes my wife, when earlier in the marriage, she did that. She just go and report me to God. Sometimes, I mean, there have been times when I'm in the wrong. My wife will apologize to me,
Mm,
and she'll tell me she's apologizing to me because she spoke to me about God. I'm sorry, spoke to God about me, and God said, "Okay, just she'll tell me the Holy Spirit told her to do this, and one of the things was to apologize to me. And unless you're a wicked person, if your wife, who you know that you are the one that has annoyed her, comes and says sorry to you, your heart will begin to melt. You know, so that is how it worked to me because, and I just started. Okay, what can I do to make this woman happy? And then start listening, and then when you realize she's right, eventually you'll be like, okay, it's still a struggle. I'm not
mm,
saying it's still a struggle, but like, okay, all right, because the last thing I want to do is she gives me advice, I don't take it, it goes wrong. Yeah, luckily she doesn't always say I told you so, but I don't even want to give her the opportunity to have
mm.
to give me the look. She might not say it, but she'll give me the look, and then we'll move on. And I'll be like, okay, I should have listened to you, you know. So it's like, yeah, it does come with a lot of prayer that he'll be matured. You pray, ask God what to do, how to say it. And then, nowadays you can do this whole thing of, okay, can we have a conversation? And then present your case in terms of, look, I love you. I want what's best for us. This is what I think about what you're doing. Is there a way that you could maybe entertain it?
Mm-hmm.
And I know it seems as if you're almost coming like, please now, just listen to me. But what was that thing that they always advise? Is it more important to be right, or is it more important for everybody, for the family and the couple as a whole, to be moving in the right direction? And if both are just, I want to be right, then it's not going to work. And yes, sometimes the more mature person has to be the one that goes, okay, forget about me being right. How can we all move together in the right direction?
Mm.
And yeah, if you're dealing with a very egotistical man, that might have to be you for a while, but you keep praying and you pray that you'll get to the point where you'll be able to turn around and go, oh wow, God, look what you've done. And so, but it takes time.
So there's hope for some people out there, is what's
Oh no, there's definitely hope. If you look on social media, you think there's no hope, because social media seems to have created this
Amplified
thing
negativity.
of men versus women
Mm-hmm.
thingy, where it's like we're just like bashing heads. And I've been trying to make it not seem as if I'm asking women, look, make yourself smaller so that he can be big, so that he can feel big. That doesn't help the entire family. But for some scenarios, you might have to find a more palatable way of presenting what you want to the man. And even, dare I say, when it works, go, oh, you did such a good job, even if it was your suggestion, because it's for the good of the entire family.
Mm.
And then just keep praying that he will realize the benefits that you brought into his life.
Hmm. What a wise answer.
Thank you.
Dramatic answer.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you. Thank you. That is the
Hmm.
wisdom from my wife, because she practices that on
Bless
a
her.
daily basis. God
God
bless
bless her.
her.
God bless
Yeah.
her. But
Yeah.
but there are
Yeah.
some people out there just listening, thinking, I hear all this, but my man is still a knucklehead. May God help me as I, persevere
Mm,
through this. But
mm.
okay, so I have one last question. But Sissy, do you want to respond to
yeah,
what?
I
Yeah.
just want to say something concerning what you said, because you asked him in the first question. I mean, that why do you think men get married? Is it for this? But a
Mhm.
lot of people these days, or maybe not even these days, a lot of people, even sorry to say, some of my age mates got married because of companionship, someone to look after them,
Mm,
and also to have someone that is readily available to do housework,
mm,
which is something that is happening. A lot of men
mm,
are doing that because they want somebody
mm,
that is at their beck and call, cook, clean, do
mm.
all of that. So even when
Yeah.
the woman is a working class lady, still expected to do all those things while still
Mm,
maintaining a job.
mm.
So you have a lot of people that married because they don't want to be old and lonely, and someone's going to be the one to fend for them. And that's why we also have cases of men when they lose their significant other, not long after getting married again, because they can't stay
Yeah.
on their own because somebody else I'm doing everything for them. Only very few of them doing it for companionship. Like I love this
Yeah.
person, and well, a lot of them just want somebody to look after them. It
Mm,
is like a baby. It is
mm.
an ambition.
It's true.
So I just wanted to put that out there anyway. But yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
back to your last question.
Okay, we'll close out with this. Would men would men prefer more men or less men in the world? It's almost a double-sided question, because obviously if there are more men, that means there are less women. So would men prefer, and I know it's one person, no, for anyone listening
Mm,
to this, But just in terms of your observation as a man, do men prefer there to be more men or women in this world?
More men.
Why?
As long as we have our own women, then we would rather have more men because there's less trouble for us, and we enjoy. If you think about it, men enjoy the companionship of men a lot. They will go drinking with them, sports,
Mhm.
watching movies, all that kind of stuff.
Bless you, sir.
And they
Okay.
just they just want to go and hang out with their guys, and then they come home to their significant other and have romantic time. But if you had more women,
Mm-hmm.
it would just be too much wahala. You just feel as if there's too much wahala, too much
Wow.
people you can't fully relate to. If you see what I mean. So if you just had one dedicated woman at home and then only men outside, you'll be fine.
Are you
What?
joking? Just,
That might have been a bit of an exaggeration, but
just to give out a caveat, this is not all men's wish. This is only
yeah,
one person.
I'm genuinely not trying to put somebody in trouble, so please don't come for him. But genuinely, I've wondered this because,
yeah,
especially as an observer of the
mm,
workforce, if
yeah,
you go into most workplaces, unless there's a committed drive, there are more
mm,
men than women.
yep,
You know,
yep,
especially in an office environment. Let's
yeah,
be frank.
Yeah.
And like I said, unless there's a dedicated drive to bring
mm,
in women, you will find more men than women. And
mm,
what I've always puzzled about is, especially when you notice the interactions between men and women in the work place, a lot of it, the men want the women to be chummy with them.
mm,
I'm
yeah,
talking from a British perspective, where you can
mm,
banter, good
yes,
banter. And that's
yeah,
what causes a lot of workplace strife, where
yeah,
he said something
mm,
that was so offensive to me. How
yeah,
could he call me dude?
mm-hmm,
Things
yeah,
like that. I'm not a
yeah,
dude, I'm a woman, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, mm-hmm,
Anyway,
yeah,
my observation is actually, is it that they just want to quote unquote normalize a woman
mm,
into a man
yep,
into the workplace where I can
yep,
just vibe off you as
yep,
a bro, that
mm-hmm,
sort of thing.
yeah,
So I'm glad you answered that honestly, because that's my observation as a woman
mm,
in a work environment outside of work, because this is where I think Wahala really starts.
mm,
Because then this man who has worked with women
mm,
and men all day, and they had, if you will, a masculine, interaction, comes home to a woman who has worked in that same environment, and you want
mm,
her to be feminine.
yeah,
How does that
yeah.
work?
But even he has to bring out his soft side when he comes home, because he knows he can't banter with his wife like he banters with the people at work. So
Most
he
men
just
don't do that though.
sorry, most
Most
they
men
don't
don't understand the need to switch.
soften. Yeah, yeah.
And,
We
and
don't
I,
always.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that causes a lot of issues in marriage,
Mm,
in any, well,
A
pre-marriage
lot of them
relationship.
just want to. I don't want to use the word. They don't. They think they're being leaders, but a lot of them are actually rulers.
mm,
Mm,
yeah.
So that's why there's not that softening. Because if you see yourself as a leader is the servant of all. You
Yeah.
won't see it. It will come natural. And being able to switch, having the softer side of you, banter at home, you can do that because you don't
Mm,
see it as you're letting yourself down by being
mm,
too vulnerable, too open, or too chat,
mhm.
or
mm,
too. Because I don't know if you ever had that when you were growing up, your parents telling you, is it because I'm smiling with you people? Like as if it's a
It's a privilege.
hey. And
yes.
I'm like, I was sitting pretty with Jesus. I didn't ask to be born. You're the one that gave birth to me. So you need to deal with it. You
Tell
understand?
them.
So I don't like
Mhm.
I like there are just some things that are just wrong.
Yeah.
Now I think about it as a mom, and there are some things that I just won't say
Mm,
because it is it. you are actually removing yourself from having a relationship with your children by saying things like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
making it
Yeah.
look like it's a chore than something that comes natural.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think I'm saying a lot more than you need. You need to do the talking because about what men want, not that.
Not an observation of what men want.
Yes, from our own bird's eye view
Mm.
or wife eye view.
Mm.
Well, I think today has been a very interesting conversation. And I did stop you asking questions earlier because genuinely I wanted us to focus on what men want. But
Yeah.
it will be interesting. Maybe you could do the reverse to us in one episode in the
I
future,
will. Yes, I
when
think
you
so.
ask us what women want, and then we
Yeah.
can we can open up the deep depth of a
Yes,
woman.
please.
Uh-huh.
Please. Please. I would
Okay.
love to be here.
Okay, no worries. On that note, thank you so much, Sumade,
Thank
for
you. Thank you.
responding to the questions and humoring us in terms of our nuances in terms of the ask of you. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
For everyone listening, please do us the privilege of clicking on that subscribe button,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
let's get this channel up and out to the world.
Yes,
It's two
please.
Nigerian women. My name is Ibukun.
And my name is Abidemi, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
All
All
right.
right. Take care,
Take care.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.